Hello everyone and welcome to the ultimate channel for students. Today is Sunday, the last day of Freshers Week, which means just one thing. It's time to recap a bit in the things that I think you will learn during Freshers Week, or at least that I learned this week. I have a few things going through my mind, therefore I don't know how long this video will be, but bear with me guys, I think it's worth it, especially if you're about to go to university. So the first thing I learned about university is to really go and queue early, because queues are enormous. I don't know about you guys, but here in Exeter, it's a small city and there's a finite amount of clubs. And therefore, when there are thousands of students who all want to party, the queues just take hours, like an hour, even 2 hours sometimes, and everything closes at 2 AM. So you don't want to be queuing at midnight, because by the time you get in, it's time to go out. Therefore, what we do in Exeter is that we queue at 9:30. I know that sounds awful because most of you will have dinner, but this is just how it is. If you start queuing at like 10:30, that's prime time. That's when you will definitely like take 2 hours to actually get into the club. So I really highly recommend you getting there early. So pre-early, eat early, get in early. Another tip I have for you is about events, tickets and all that stuff. So on my YouTube channel in August especially, I had a lot of people who have asked me, do I buy tickets, do I not buy tickets, what do I do? And it all depends, because obviously if you're gonna spend £20 on one ticket, then don't do it, because it shouldn't be that pricey unless you're in London. Obviously I always used to go with the flow, just like buy things on the door, but I realized this year that some people on the door do make the most out of the fact that you really want to get in, therefore they overprice. They will put higher prices on the door. So for instance, a friend of mine bought a wristband of £30 that got him into 6 nights. Worth it, because then his friend got into 1 night for £10. So I do have my new tip for events is to really just like try and figure out which wristband you can buy that can get you into a maximum of nights, so that you know, especially if you come to Exeter, because everything will be full, therefore every event will be a good event. That's what I saw this year by being on the door and realizing how much they were charging. I was just like, oh, maybe next time a wristband. As a fresher, I would get very annoyed about the amount of promotion that is in my face every single day. Not only you are just bombarded with promotion in August through the social media groups. By the way, that's why I started a group for freshers in Exeter and freshers in general, so that you guys would not be bombarded. So not only you're bombarded all August long about like, this night is great, this night is great, this night is great, but the torture never ends. When you arrive to Exeter University every single day, at least in Exeter, on Forum Hill, you have loads of people just like handing you flyers, telling you about their activities, trying to like get you to listen for like 2 minutes of your life. So 2 meters actually becomes 20 meters because 10 people have asked you, hey, do you have a minute? And it's just like, I don't know how you guys do it. I understand that as a fresher it can be quite overwhelming because you have a lot of information to get into your head. Something I've learned during Freshers Week is that the reason why most people get drunk is because they are very nervous. So you get a lot of freshers who they just can't stand how they feel about the new environment. They're not comfortable, they feel a bit uneasy, like out of it, and so you definitely see them over drinking. And obviously there's no problem in drinking, especially in the UK. People just drink all the time and they get drunk all the time. It's just if you get drunk to the point where you can't even know where you are and how to get back home, and you're really a huge mess, I think that can be a bit dangerous, especially in a new city. What I would do is like, drink if you want to be drunk, and okay, but don't exaggerate. You don't need to drink to calm your nerves down. I think that the more you face the problem of meeting new people and in getting comfortable in that environment sober, the more you will actually like feel comfortable in real life. So if you're drinking because you're nervous, I wouldn't, because that's especially at night, because everyone gets drunk at night, therefore everyone is just like out of it. If you're sober that night, you can create better connections with people, and you can remember faces better, and you can make more friends, and like just, you know, add people on Facebook. It's just better to be sober on Freshers Week. There's this big misconception that Freshers Week is the only week before you actually have to study hard, although it is true that for some courses you will have to study hard. For most courses, especially in Exeter, you still go out the rest of the year, so you don't have to drink all of the alcohol you were planning to drink for the year in 1 week. I would actually be sober in the first week in order to really like establish connections and meet new people sober and remember their faces, and then once I've established connections, start going out with them and then getting drunk. That's what I would do, but obviously everyone's their own person and you're free to do whatever you want. That was just my 2 cents. My next tip is about daytime events. So Freshers Week is great because everyone knows that you party at night, but there are also plenty of daytime events that society organise, like loads of taster sessions by loads of societies. So the university guild or student union, depending on how you call it in your university, gives you a booklet with all the activities for every day of freshers, and it's really exciting because you have so much you want to go to. However, there's one thing that you need to understand. You will plan to go at 9 AM to this, 10 AM to that, 3 PM to this, 4 PM to that. That won't happen. You'll probably stay in bed until midday, get on campus by 1, get lost, arrive to the place at 2. So what I would do is really like focus on going to one event and just going to that. Just pick one event a day and commit yourself to actually go to that event. A huge tip I have about accommodation: a lot of people are extremely nervous about who they're going to live with, as they're convinced that that's going to affect their social life. Although your housemates and flatmates will affect your social life to a certain extent, they barely influence anything actually. You will realize that if you really want to have a good time, you will go out with maybe one person you met in one society, and then you will meet new people from that person. In my day, I had no one in my corridor because they were all post-grads and they all arrived in October, and everyone was starting to meeting people in early September. And so I was literally just alone, and then I went through stuff. Basically, I've got this video explaining my first few days at university. You should totally check it out if you're interested in how I managed and how I overcame things. It's on my YouTube channel. I think that it's the mentality that makes it. You're gonna have a great uni life if you allow yourself to have a great uni life and just keep meeting people until you find your crowd, because your crowd is out there, you just have to look for it. But whatever you do, do not stay in your room during Freshers Week. Moving on to my next tip is, for all international students, I would come a week before Freshers Week. You really need the time to settle in. So if you come a week earlier, you really have all the time without any queues to start your bank account, sort out your Wi-Fi, unpack, go buy all the extra storage you need. There's so many things to do during the first few days you arrive that you really want to make sure that you're not missing out on the socializing. Therefore, coming a week earlier really helps you with that, and I would totally do that. I always did that, and it always like made me feel settled in when everyone would arrive. Please understand that feeling overwhelmed is okay. It's normal to feel overwhelmed. It's normal to feel homesick. It's normal to feel nervous. Do not think that you're being weird. Trust me, even the most loud and confident looking person is actually freaking out inside. Just remember that the people you're looking around, every fresher you see is freaking out inside. Therefore, do not worry about going up to people and saying hi, because the only weirdos who are gonna not say hi to you are weirdos who are not worth anyone's time, and it just filters them out for you. Everyone that's worth your time is going to say hi back and start a conversation with you. Therefore, I would totally do that, okay? Just don't be nervous. Something I learned during Freshers Week is that Freshers flu is a thing. I don't know if you can notice, but My nose is red. That is because I've been blowing my nose a lot because I have freshers flu. And it's normal, you know, because a lot of people are coming from all around the world and bringing their own local germs into one tiny club. Therefore, everyone is inhaling this air full of germs from all over the place. And oh my goodness, don't freak out. If you're a clean freak, this is not the time to freak out, guys. Like, it's fine. It's actually great for your immune system because it's actually building all the anticorps. I don't know how to say that in English, but it's building your immune system to be immune to all these kind of germs. So it's totally fine. Our bodies should like take the time to actually like get used to germs that are not ours or whatever. And if you take like medicine like because you want quick results, you want to feel better immediately, I think that's wrong. Just eat a couple of oranges and have a 15-hour sleep and you'll be fine. Obviously this is just if you have freshers flu, not if you are like actually super duper ill. That's just a heads up, but everyone has their beliefs and it's okay if you don't agree. Let me know in the comments what you think. And last but not least, try your best in not putting yourself in the position where you have to rush everywhere. Oh my goodness, in Freshers Week in my first year, I just used to rush everywhere. Then people would try and say hi to me on the street, and instead of just actually taking the time to say hi and like asking them how they are, or you know, a bit of small talk, a bit of deep talk for the people who don't like small talk, like me, I was just like, so I have to go, yes, I'm super late, I'm so sorry. And I would be stressed and they would be like, well, okay. Obviously they would understand, but it's much better to feel in peace with yourself and just like, you know, take your time. Whatever you do not over schedule your day. Just have 2 or 3 major things you need to attend in very like different parts of your day and go to those. Obviously busy schedules will happen, but try not make it a habit. Guys, that was my Freshers 101. What have I learnt in Freshers Week? I really hope it helped. I do have plenty of more things to say, so check my channel out. Have a great fresh start at university. I'm so excited for you. I am here for you always, remember that, and I love you all. Mwah. I'm trying to put you in the worst mood. P1 cleaner than your church shoes.